In this video, we're going to talk about triggers. Triggers are a very nice way where you can set some specific criteria and filters and fire that trigger in order to send those data that meet those criteria back to your integrations and your automation rules. You can access triggers under the lead management menu, and here you already find a predefined trigger, which is the most simple one after every call. So that means that after every call, an event is sent if you select that trigger back to your integrations or back to your automation rules. Now, the idea here is that you create custom filters by clicking on this plus button on the bottom right. The first thing you need to do is set the name of the rule. So I'm going to create a very simple trigger called calls over 3 minutes. And then I have some options here of what filters I have to set. So if these calls meet these criteria, the trigger will be created. So in this case, it's fairly simple. Call minutes more than 120 seconds and click on OK. Once I'm ready, I click on Save, and this will create my new trigger, which I can use throughout my integrations and automation rules as mentioned. So I can go back to integrations, let's say Google Analytics, and create a new event where I can select this trigger and name the event. Or I can go to my email notifications and have a trigger calls over 3 minutes and send an email to my clients whenever a call is over 3 minutes. Similarly, I can create a trigger here where it's called not answered calls. So non-answered calls. And again, the rule here is call outcome not answered. Okay, save. So I have this trigger. Again, I can use this again in email notification, non-answered calls, and have an email sent to my client if they miss a call. You can create more sophisticated, more complex triggers. So let's go with another one. If you're using the keypad entry, you can click on digits pressed by caller. So if they press 1, click OK, then add more. If the call type is priority, meaning you're using priority calls, click on Save, name this trigger, call type equals, call type is priority, and digit pressed is 1. So this narrows down really the amount of calls you're receiving specifically to callers who pressed 1 and the call type is priority ringing. Again, this is really advanced, but you get the idea of how advanced your triggers can be. Now, as mentioned, your triggers can also be used along with automation rules. So automation rules are specific automations that Nimbata can do in order to enrich your call data. So let's say that you want to create an automation called update calls, update, let's say update quality with tag. Update quality calls with tag. And what I mean by quality calls is calls over 3 minutes. So I'm going to use this automation rule along with this trigger and then select what needs to happen when the call is over 3 minutes, what Nimbata should do. Nimbata should update the tag of these calls to, let's say, conversion, okay? And click on Save. Or I can also update the value. Set the value to 300, let's say. Save. So whenever a call is over 3 minutes, Nimbata will go and tag the call as a conversion, and also apply the value of 300. I can create as many automation rules as I want, tie them with triggers, and then set the actions. So for instance, you can also create a trigger. Let's go and create it. Times called, and then use this stat here. Times call is greater than, I don't know, 10. Okay, so if a caller keeps calling and hangs up, probably you want to mark them as spam, right? So you save this trigger, head back to automation rules, create an automation rule, mark as spam, select the trigger, times called, and then actions add to spam filter and hit save. And this creates a new automation rule which automatically Nimbata will add it to spam. Now this gets even better. You can create triggers and automation rules with your custom properties. So you're essentially, you can start streamlining your the update of your custom properties through triggers. Final step is on your integrations. If you head over to manage, you can see exactly which trigger is used for which integration, right? And you can select the trigger that you want to be applied on each integration. That's it. Play around with triggers, play with automation rules, and have fun.